This is an introduction to the Premiere video editing suite. This video will cover the basics of getting the video files you have just shot from your camera into Premiere to start editing a sequence and export a finished video. Let's get started. Once you have shot your video, the data will be stored on the SD card in the camera, and you will need to import those files to the computer to work with them in Premiere. You will need to pop out the SD card like this and insert the SD card into the card reader to import the files to the computer or hard drive. Once the SD card is inserted into the card reader, a pop-up window with the folder containing the files will appear. If a folder window containing the files does not pop up, navigate to the folder containing the files. In the folder containing the video files, select all and drag them to a location of your preference to save them. You are now ready to open Premiere. Once Premiere loads, create a new project. Once you select New Project, it will prompt you to name the project and select a file location to save the project. Once you complete this step, hit OK to begin. When Premiere opens, you will need to go to the project window in the bottom left to import media to start. Once the media is imported, you can click and drag them into the timeline to begin editing. Video tracks show up with a V and number on the track and audio as A and then a number. The main editing toolbar is here. Repeat the drag and drop for all new media into the timeline to compile your sequence, and then use the editing tools here as required by your needs. In the timeline, the video clips will play from the top track down. If two pieces of video are stacked in the timeline, it will only play the top portion of the video sequence. This can be useful for voiceover sequences, transitions, and B-roll shots. While editing, in the program window in the top right, you'll be able to view playback from your timeline sequence. When you have finished editing a sequence in the timeline, you are now ready to export. To export, select File, Export, and then Media. This will bring you to the Export Settings menu. Set the format to H.264. Also in this window, there is a preset drop-down menu that has export settings for YouTube, Vimeo, and more, depending on the needs of your project. Once you've checked the export settings and selected your output name, it's time to export. If you'd like to make additional changes to the output name, just click on it and adjust. Once that's complete, it's time to export. The video will then encode and export to the destination that you've set in the export window. Once the export is complete, you are done. Your video is now exported and ready to view. This concludes the introduction to Premiere Video Editing Suite. Best of luck with your projects.